Hi, if your hips feel tight and your lower back screams by the end of the day, then this class is for you. Everything happens on the mat. We're not gonna force anything, and you do not need to be flexible. Tight hips are not a flaw, they're just information. So when you're ready, grab a couple of blocks, grab your mat, and let's do this. We're gonna start in all fours. So bring your shoulders over your wrist, your hips more or less over your knees. And we're gonna start with a cat-cow. But instead of letting the spine lead, we're gonna let our hips lead. So, and you might not know exactly what that means. So just start moving. Just start rounding your back and arching your spine. But maybe you're taking the waves a little bit longer. And as you start moving, maybe your eyes closed. So we can start really tuning in on how these movements feel. Where do they start from? Maybe your shoulders are going past the wrist and a little bit further back. Can you let the movement start from your hips? The spine will follow. Beautiful. If there's any extra wiggle, extra movement here that you want to bring, I'm a big advocate for it. Let your body move how it wants to move. Beautiful. Come all the way back through center. We're gonna keep moving from the hips. We're gonna wiggle them from side to side. And we're gonna look back to it. Look how cute of a booty I am. That's what you're saying to yourself. Nice. So we're wiggling one side to the other. Beautiful job. And we're gonna start drawing big circles now. Coming forward and moving back. Big lazy circles. Ugly is fine. We just want to feel it. Very nice. Connect the movement to your breath. Keep those big circles going. Reverse as well if you haven't already. Well done. And then come all the way once again back through center. Now we're gonna stay as you are. We're gonna reach our right foot all the way out to the side. I'm just showing you how it is, how it's gonna look like. And then we're gonna start wiggling our toes up and forward, up and forward. So we're moving from an external rotation to internal rotation. Very nice. Just a couple more times. And then I'm gonna ask you if you can plant your foot flat on the floor. If that doesn't happen and is a little bit more lifted, that's okay also. But if it's possible, bring your whole sole of the foot down on the ground. And from here, keep it there and send your hips all the way back towards your left heel. Can you reach your hands a little bit more forward so that we're bringing a bit of a length through the sides of the torso as well? Feeling the stretch into the groin, into the inner thigh. And breathing into it. Beautiful. And roll yourself all the way up. Now listen, we're gonna find a little rainbow shape with our foot, with our leg. So from here, we're gonna come all the way up and all the way to the left diagonally. Nice. All the way up and all the way right tap. Up, across, and left tap. Up, across, and right tap. 2 more times like this. Nice. Last time tapping left. And then simply reaching your right leg back behind, bringing your knee in, and grabbing hold of the ankle if needed, bring your foot between your hands. Grab hold of a block and place it just underneath your torso. Leave it there for now. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Then lift your hips a little bit more than just allowing them to sink deep forward. We want the engagement between your thighs, so we're gonna squeeze into the midlines and find a little bit more of a posterior tilt of the pelvis here. So that means your tailbone tucks under slightly. And then reach your arms up, grab hold of your left wrist, and while you keep that posterior tilt of the pelvis, lean towards the right. Now this should bring a nice stretch all the way to the side of your torso, all the way through the psoas and into the hip flexors. Notice how you feel it and where you feel it. And maybe you need to move around a little bit, adjust a little bit to bring that sensation across the side of the torso and all the way through the front of your left thigh. Beautiful job. Now come all the way back up. Left hand comes down for the block. Right hand reaches up to the sky. Start to extend your front leg. Send your right hip down and back. Beautiful. Look up towards your right hand if that feels good for the neck. Otherwise, you can keep the gaze towards the floor. Your front foot is flexed. And once again, your knee can have a little bend. We're bringing the stretching to the hamstrings at the back of our right thigh. Very well done. Look down if you weren't already. Bend your front knee and come forward. Wiggle your right foot as wide as the mat. And you can use the other block as well. You can use just one. You can move it out to the side. We're coming into a lizard. You can stay onto your hands. You can come down onto your forearms. It's the same stretch. Forearms are just optional. So find what works for you today. And we don't really want to push in this stretch. We want to allow our body to melt into it. Well done. And know that everything is connected in the body. So by bringing extra space into our hip flexors, into our quads, into our hips, then helps the lower back as well. Beautiful. Start to come back up if you weren't already onto your hands. Move the block onto the side if you were using it. And from here, we're going to start to come up and then move all the way back, but all the way to sit on our left heel this time. Then bring your heel onto the outside of your booty. Beautiful. And right leg is extended. You're going to lean back on your hands. Now, what we're looking for with this sensation at the front of our left thigh once again. So if you're here and this feels enough, you can stay. You can also come down onto your forearms. Before you go any further, because you could eventually also lay on your back, but before you go there, and you're looking for a little bit more, then I want you to find that posterior tilt once again. So that means you're going to tuck the tailbone under. Maybe you're even lifting your hips to create that space and then bringing them back down. Now, that should have already heightened the sensation into your quads and hip flexors. And if you're still looking for more, you can come down to lay on your back. But in that case, I really want you to be mindful of your lower back. If you're feeling any pinching, if it feels way too overarched and it doesn't feel comfortable, then come back up. Very nice. Just keep breathing. Sending the breath. Imagining sending the breath wherever you feel you need a little bit more space, a little bit more softness. And then slowly lift yourself all the way back up. Take your time, come all the way forward and step your right knee back. We're back into our tabletop position. And from here, we'll repeat the same sequence. So your left foot will step out to the side. And from here, just wiggle your foot up and down. Toes to point to the sky, toes to point forward. Just a couple more times. Finding that internal and external rotation. And then if you can, see if you can bring your full sole of your foot down flat on the mat. And from here, send your hips back towards your right heel, reaching your arms a little bit more forward. Notice where in the body you're feeling it. Can you breathe into it? Very well done. Roll yourself forward back into your tabletop position. Now that rainbow shape. So from here, we tap to the left, all the way up and across to the right. Whoop. We tap, and then all the way to the left. Tap, across, diagonal right, and all the way left. A couple more times here. Tap, and tap. We tap right, and then we reach our leg back behind. From here, knee towards the nose, step your foot forward, and bring a block just underneath your torso. Reach your arms up, and then from here, squeeze your inner thighs in towards the midline, in towards each other. Lift, your hips will automatically lift a little bit more. And then find that posterior tilt, that tailbone tuck here. In this case, it's just because we really want to heighten the sensation at the front of our thigh. Arms are up. You're going to grab hold of your right wrist. Find a little bit more length before leaning to the left. Inviting that sense of spaciousness through the body. Very, very nice. We're moving into that twisted half splits next. So we're coming back through center, and then right hand on the block, left hand up as you start to extend your left leg, sending your left hip back and down. Nice. Any bend into that front knee that you need, feel free to bring it, to adjust, to modify, to whatever feels right in your body. Chest is open. Can you soften your face? Can you notice if you're clenching the jaw or furrowing your brows? Can you let go of that? That is unnecessary tension. Beautiful. Release the twist, come forward, bend your front knee, and wiggle the foot as wide as the mat. You can still use your blocks, you can stay on your hands, you can come down onto your forearms. And as we breathe into our lizard, notice how, if it feels any different, all of these movements into this side of the body. Our body tends to be lopsided, and so yours is too. Yours is allowed to be too. And so notice how different it feels, if it feels any different. And like before, can you find that sense of melting into the stretch more than pushing into it, more than forcing? Start to lift yourself up. If you weren't already, come onto your hands. And then we're going to send our hips all the way back to sit on our heel. Then we're going to bring our booty down on the ground. Our right heel is out to the side, front leg extended forward. And then we're leaning back onto our hands. And maybe this feels just enough, and that's perfect. Maybe you're coming down onto your forearms. Maybe you're looking for a little extra. Then find that tilt, that posterior tilt of the pelvis, that tailbone tuck, to bring that extra sensation into the front of your right thigh. Beautiful. We're here just for a few more breaths. And then we start to come all the way back up onto our hands, and then slowly moving all the way forward. Hands on the mat. This time tuck your toes and step your left foot back, downward facing dog. I want you to bend your knees one after the other towards the chest, walking it out. Big breath in, full breath out. Walk your hands all the way back towards your toes. Bend your knees as much as needed. Grab hold of opposite elbows and find a gentle sway side to side. Lengthening from your lower back, mid back, upper back. Relaxing the neck and keeping the head heavy. You can nod yes and no. Release your elbows, bring your feet as wide as the mat, toes pointing outwards. Bring your sitting bones down low, find your malasana. Now your heels can be lifted here, your hands can be for support on the ground. Or you can bring your hands together, pressing your upper arms into your inner thighs to lift a little bit more and open the chest. Big breath in, full breath out. Very nice. Hands will reach behind so that we can come sit on the ground and scooch ourselves just a little bit further forward. Now, left leg extends, right ankle just above your left knee. We're gonna bring our legs closer towards the chest in our figure of four. The stretch now comes a little bit more into the outer hips, into the glutes. This is the lower back release you came here for. You can stay still. You can find a little jiggle side to side. Very nice. One more breath here. And then drop your right foot down towards the left. Keep your right hand behind you. Lift high through your left hand. And then twist, hugging your thigh in or tacking your elbow onto the outside, whatever feels right, into a twist. For me, for my body, never feels quite nice to do the tack behind. So I quite like to hug. And it's a nice chance to give yourself a hug. Give your body a hug. And then we release, coming back through center, releasing our legs, give them a little wiggle jiggle. And then left ankle above your right knee. Bring your legs closer into your chest. Now listen, the trick here is closer the legs are, harder is to stay upright with our torso. So if you notice you're here because your legs are really close to your chest, then take a little step forward and find a little bit more length. Very nice. Notice if it feels any different and how it feels if you're adjusting. Big breaths. And then same thing as we did on the other side. Left foot comes down on the right, left hand is where it is. Right arm to the sky to find a bit more length, and then find your twist. Release the twist, bring your legs through center, give them once again a little jiggle, a little wiggle. And then with control, come all the way to lay down onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. And if you haven't already, give yourself a big hug. Gentle rock side to side. Gentle massage to your lower back. That's on the house. And then back through center. Let go of your legs. Open your arms wide. We're finding, finally maybe, our Savasana. If laying down is not the right pose for you, you can come into a seated or kneeling position instead. Let everything go. This could be a nice chance to scan through the body. Notice any unnecessary tension that you might be holding, and can you relax? Can you soften? Can you let your body rest just for a moment? Stay here as long as needed. Thank you so much for being here, moving with me. I appreciate you. And that's it. 10 minutes and hips and lower back have had a proper conversation. This one is best little and often, so save it and come back to it whenever sitting has done its thing. You can grab my free Start Again kit in the description, and remember, feel good first.